If you're complaining that my earnings aren't enough, then get out of this house.
So shouted my husband as he grabbed my arm and pushed me out of the front door. However, the very next morning he called me.
The safe won't open. How am I supposed to get money for drinks?
Of course it wouldn't open. It's the smart lock I proudly created. And my enraged dad also gave my husband a lesson. My name is Kate, 29 years old. I met my husband David through a friend's introduction, and we've been living together for nearly 2 years now. I'm still working as a full-time employee at the same place I was before our marriage. I love my current job, and I want to keep working as much as possible, even if we have kids. Today, after finishing work, I got home first and started preparing dinner. Just as I finished and was taking a break, my husband came home.
I'm home.
Welcome back. All this was usual. Dinner's ready.
Oh, Kate.
What now? Did he already eat? I wondered, but I was stunned by his next words.
Kate, can you quit your job at the end of this month?
Why?
I can't stand the thought of letting my wife work forever. It goes against my pride as a man. I'll earn for us, so focus on the house.
But why so suddenly?
It's nothing sudden. I've been thinking about this. We've been married for 2 years, and I can't keep letting my wife work outside.
This was unexpected. It sounded reliable, but I thought we agreed on a dual income. Plus, we chose this place because you didn't want a long commute from the station. And the rent is $1,000, right? It's tough without both of us working. And I think I'm doing a decent job with the household, even if it's not perfect.
What? Are you saying my earnings alone aren't enough?
My husband suddenly yelled. They're definitely not enough. I screamed that in my heart, but saying it aloud would only fuel his anger more. I swallowed my words. My husband works in sales at a small company. Apparently, the company culture is similar to that of a sports team. Despite long hours, his salary is only $1.5K. I haven't told him, but I earn more than $2,000. His company seems to have serious workplace issues, judging by his work conditions. Perhaps being brainwashed by his company's problematic work environment. My husband believes that a salary of $1,500 is normal. Moreover, he's under the misconception that we can live on that amount. Maybe his bosses, influenced by the company's problematic environment, told him something unnecessary, like it's unmanly to have a working wife or something along those lines. Typical of a sports team-like boss to say. If that's the case, they should pay more. Or is he expecting his salary to become sufficient for both of us to live on? I mulled over various thoughts. My husband is very stubborn by nature and doesn't easily change his mind. I knew arguing would be futile. Okay, I'll discuss it with my boss tomorrow, I said, ending the conversation for the day. The next day, I asked for time with my boss and proposed my resignation, explaining the situation. But he offered something unexpected. After finishing this month's work, why not take a break and then work remotely? Indeed, I've been busy for about 3 months with the launch of a new project. There were even days when I worked without taking any breaks. This project would be wrapping up this month. My boss's suggestion was truly a blessing, but I decided to tell my husband I had quit. Mentioning a leave of absence would probably lead to more nagging. Remote work would fulfill his wish for me not to go out. He shouldn't have any complaints. I wasn't fully satisfied with leaving my job because of his unilateral decision, but thus began my life as a housewife. Being a housewife, I found plenty to do each day. Now I could clean more thoroughly, things I had neglected while we had double income. It felt good to have a neat and clean home. However, after a month, I started to have more free time, and it became clear that we were running a deficit on his salary alone. Continuing like this would eventually drain our savings. We needed to save more, thinking of the future. I really should start working remotely. I can't wait to get back to work. While zoning out, I noticed the living room safe, a small safe for storing the seal, banking cards, and cash withdrawn from the bank. Speaking of which, opening this safe every time to get money is a bit of a hassle. The safe had a small ordinary key. Being a cheap safe, the key had become difficult to turn recently. The key was kept in a drawer in another room. Going there to fetch it, unlock the safe, and then return to the room was a bit of a hassle. As a housewife, I should probably endure it, but efficiency is important in everything. How about a smart lock? Researching online, I found that smart lock safes cost over $300. Expensive. With our current income, it's impossible. I remember seeing DIY when I searched for smart locks. Looking again, I found several blogs and videos on making your own smart lock. Wow, it can be done for about $30 in materials. Ah, this one even has a program for mobile phones. The more I looked online, the more my creative spirit was ignited. I've always been frugal, putting off buying things I want, and yet my husband goes out and drinks to his heart's content. $30 should be okay. Before I knew it, I had bought all the necessary materials. Some might doubt my programming skills, but I had been an engineer until recently. Programming was a piece of cake for me. I got so engrossed in learning how to make a smart lock. Looking at the clock, it was already 5 p.m. Oh no, I need to prepare dinner. After dinner, I returned to the computer. So this is how you lock it with a mobile phone. As I was engrossed in my work, my husband returned home. Looking at the clock, it was just before 9 p.m. I had gotten absorbed again. I'm home. I'm tired. Dinner? With just those words, my husband sat at the living room table. Welcome back. I'll get it ready now. As I served the dinner I had prepared, my husband looked dissatisfied. Chicken again? It seems like we've been having it a lot lately. Chicken and sprouts? When I come home tired, I want something more substantial, like steak. But I quit my job, you know. With our current income, this is the best I can do. What? Are you saying my earnings aren't enough? To be honest, it is tough. I'm trying my best to manage. Hey, there are jobs I can do remotely. If I work a little, we could have more luxurious dishes. I haven't told my husband that I haven't actually quit my job, so I subtly suggested the idea to him. Don't joke about such things. I was frightened by my husband's loud voice. Seeing me like that, he continued. Are you trying to embarrass me? As a housewife, it's your job to manage with my salary. Maybe you're just bad at managing money. By the way, you were on the computer when I got home. You're not working without telling me, are you? No, that's not it. I was just looking up stuff about household finances. It was a bit of a fib, but not entirely untrue. Anyway, don't do things behind my back. And prepare $200 for tomorrow. I have a farewell party for a junior colleague. Wait a minute. $200 just for one night? Is it going to cost that much? Yeah, it's a farewell for a junior. It's my duty as a senior to treat him. After finishing his meal in a bad mood, my husband quickly went to his room, just casually mentioning $200. After paying rent, there's only $500 left from his salary. I'm already scrimping on things I want and food I want to eat. If I worked, we could solve this problem. How stubborn can he be? And another colleague is leaving too. I heard someone else quit just recently. What kind of working conditions does his company have? This is so frustrating. I'll just go to bed for today. The next morning, the materials I ordered for the smart lock arrived. My husband said he had a farewell party tonight. I was happy to have plenty of time to work. Let's see, attach this here. The motor goes here. Making a smart lock from scratch is challenging, but fun. I really love programming. I wish I could work, but my husband strictly forbids it. I immerse myself in building the smart lock to relieve the stress of not being able to work. Creating something with focus was very enjoyable for me. A week of trial and error passed. Yes! Beep! Brrr. Yes, I did it! I finally completed the smart lock from the safe. Brrr. Brrr. I happily opened and closed the safe several times. I did a great job. Today was my husband's payday. I quickly withdrew money and stored the living expenses in the safe. It was a sense of accomplishment I hadn't felt since I stopped working. The smart lock turned out so well, I wanted to brag to my husband, but I kept quiet. He's been in a bad mood lately. Our relationship isn't good. If I brag, he might say it's just a bored housewife's craft or a waste of money. I didn't want him to ruin my good mood. That day, I made dinner humming happily. All right, dinner's ready. Suddenly, I heard a loud voice from the entrance. Hey, Kate! It was my husband's voice. He's home quite early. Does he sound angry? He stormed into the living room, raising his voice. You haven't quit your job. How did you know that? I met mother-in-law near the office today. She asked if we were struggling, but said it's fine because you are just on leave of absence and can go back to work if needed. Talking behind my back, making me look like a fool? I didn't even know you hadn't quit. That's right. I had a call from Mom the other day. I vented to her a bit and mentioned my job. What's going on, Kate? So loud and annoying. I was in such a good mood after finishing the smart lock. And what's with that arrogant attitude? Does he really think we can live on his salary alone? Is he stupid? I couldn't hold back my anger anymore. Do you really think we can live on your salary alone?
What did you say?
My husband glared at me furiously. It's simple. Rent is $1,000. Your salary is $1,500. Plus all the frequent farewell parties recently. Your drink money alone makes that $500 disappear in no time.
Shut up. It's my money. I'll spend it how I want.
It's fine to spend it, but I'm saying it's not enough.
Enough. Everyone's always telling me what to do.
Everyone? Is he having a hard time at work because of the company's issues? His ranting didn't stop.
Anyway, if you're going to complain about my earnings not being enough, get out of this house.
He grabbed my arm tightly. Ouch! Stop it! He dragged me to the entrance, pushed me out, closed the door, and locked it. Open the door! No matter how much I knocked, he didn't open it. What should I do? Fortunately, I had my mobile phone in the back pocket of my jeans. I remembered locking and unlocking the safe today, smirking. I had put my phone in my pocket by chance. I should have made the front door lock a smart lock too. I tried calling him, but of course he didn't answer. I called my parents and explained the situation. It's about a 20-minute drive from my house to my parents. Dad, angry after hearing the story, quickly got ready to pick me up. When I arrived at my parents' house, I explained everything to them again. Kate, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said too much. My mom apologized, looking guilty.
No, letting his low income slide and treating my daughter so badly. I can't forgive him.
Dad was quite angry. Kate, you don't have to force yourself. Think about what you really want to do. That's right. I never wanted to quit my job. Just dragged down by my husband's silly pride and ego, suffering through it all. Continuing to live with him doesn't seem likely to improve things. Was this marriage a mistake? It's better to start over sooner than later. Dad, Mom, I might get a divorce. Is that okay? Of course. You have a skill, and there's always a chance to start over in life, Mom said. Kindness I hadn't felt in a while. I burst into tears at Mom's words. I wanted a warm relationship with my husband, but that seems impossible now. Then my mobile phone rang. It was my husband. What now? Still in the afterglow of Mom's warm words, I wiped my tears and reluctantly answered. Hello?
Hey, how long are you going to wander outside? You're making breakfast tomorrow, right?
Huh? You're the one who kicked me out. I'm not coming back for a while, or maybe not at all. He was shouting something on the other end, but I hung up rudely. After telling my parents what happened, Dad muttered, Just divorce him. I thought the same. Tomorrow, I'll contact my company to discuss returning to work. Luckily, I can commute from my parents' house. The next morning, I was woken up early by a call on my mobile phone. Again, it was from my husband. What do you want? I answered grumpily.
Hey, where's the key to the safe?
It's in the desk drawer in the bedroom. After saying that, the call ended. 5 minutes later, another call from him.
Hey, the key won't open.
That's right. I hadn't told my husband that I'd switched the safe to a smart lock. About that safe. I turned it into a smart lock. It's my own handiwork. It won't open without my mobile phone.
What? What am I supposed to do? I can't get money for drinks today if it doesn't open. Come back right now and open it.
Another drinking party? No, I won't come back.
What? You're defying me?
What? You're the one who kicked me out. Besides, I'm not coming back. I've talked with my parents, and we're getting a divorce.
What? All of a sudden?
Sudden? You're the one who's sudden. Telling me to quit my job without considering my feelings? Not even realizing how low your salary is? Anyway, I'm not planning to make up with you. Besides, I earn more than you do, so I won't struggle at all if we divorce.
We don't need to divorce. I was just trying to discipline you for not listening to me.
Discipline? I don't remember doing anything that needs disciplining. Anyway, we're getting divorced.
Hey, don't joke around.
He was still saying something, but I ended the call. The next day, my husband came to visit our house. It was Saturday, so both my parents were home. Without much greeting to my parents, he said,
Please, Kate, come back. I can't get any money if the safe doesn't open. And what about the housework?
Hearing this, Dad said,
David, figure it out yourself. You earn $1.5K a month, right?
Yes, what about it?
Kate told us your rent is $1,000. How much do you spend a month? Probably $400 or $500 on drinking. That's your salary gone. Even a child can do that math. Yes?
Dad continued.
Where do you think the money for food, utilities, and other expenses come from? From Kate's savings. Didn't you know that? I left the house matters to Kate, so... Anyway, we want you to divorce our daughter. We can't forgive a man who throws his precious wife out the door without any reason. No, but... Enough. It's over with my daughter. Leave.
Oh, and sign this divorce paper and submit it to the office. I've already written my name on it. Following Dad's angry words, I pushed the divorce papers to my husband.
What about the safe?
I don't know. Figure it out yourself. Unable to say anything in front of my parents, he left sadly. After a while, he still hadn't submitted the divorce papers. I couldn't wait any longer and went to the house where I used to live with my husband, accompanied by Dad. My husband was there. He looked sloppy, and the house was littered with trash. The floor was dented in several places, as if he'd thrown the unopened safe.
Open this safe now,
he demanded as soon as he saw me. Always about the safe. Fine, I'll open it if you sign the divorce papers.
No, please don't divorce me.
Okay, then I'm leaving.
Wait, okay, I'll sign.
He hastily signed and threw the divorce papers at me. I took my time operating my mobile phone.
Brrr.
He lunged at the safe. Even though it opened, there was only $500 inside. That might be just enough to cover the cost of repairing the floor. Well, that's it. His eyes seemed to beg me to come back, but my business was done. I took the divorce papers and left with Dad. Later, I successfully returned to work. I had caused trouble for everyone with my sudden leave, but they welcomed me warmly. Work is fun. I devoted myself fully to make up for the lost time. A few months later, I saw my ex-husband at a grocery store near a client's office. His suit was disheveled, and he had grown a scruffy beard. I wondered if it was really okay for him to make sales calls looking like that. I hid behind a shelf and watched. He was trying to buy bread and canned coffee. Card, please. He tried using his card, but the cashier looked puzzled. It seemed his card didn't work. Probably he was behind on payments with his salary. He didn't have cash either.
Never mind then.
He put the bread and coffee back and quickly left the grocery store. It's sad that he couldn't even afford bread and coffee, but it's no longer my concern. He should realize his income and live within his means. $1,500 a month is indeed a low salary, but one can manage with a lifestyle suited to it. As for me, thanks to enjoying my job and working hard, I'm earning more than before the leave. My boss, who I'd consulted about quitting, has been very kind since my return. He's a reliable and supportive boss. He recently invited me to dinner to talk. I don't know if it will lead to romance, but I'm genuinely happy. But for now, my job is my lover. Thanks to that, I'm leading a busy